Welcome to the Color of Influence podcast, where you will hear conversations from influential people of color from around the world, from social media, and right here in your communities. These behind-the-scenes conversations will motivate you, inspire you, and encourage you. I am your host, Aisha Morgan, and let's meet today's guest. Welcome back to the podcast. Today is a solo episode, just giving you guys an update on what's been going on with me and what I would like to happen for 2023. I'm a little bit indecisive about it, so I hope you can follow along to what I'm talking about in the episode. But head over to all of our streaming platforms and like, share, and comment, and subscribe to the podcast. Head over to YouTube. Subscribe, comment, share the podcast with everyone you know, and don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms and engage with us on there. All right, let's get into our episode. All right, welcome back to the podcast. I feel like it has been forever since I was here chatting with y'all. First of all, thank you all for rocking with me on my breast cancer journey. I appreciate you listening and watching those videos and those podcast episodes. It was a little bit different, I know, from my normal podcast setup, but I thought it was important to share that journey with as many people as I can, because so many people don't talk about their journey, and we kind of have this false notion of what people deal with when they are going through breast cancer. Now, my journey was just one person's journey. I know that everybody has a different fight and a different situation. So, try to go out and find lots of different people who have been affected, not just by breast cancer, but other medical conditions, because we learn a lot from other people. I am in remission from my breast cancer. I don't know if I've ever said that before on the podcast. I did have a double mastectomy and reconstruction. And so I am trying to get those videos together. It is very hard for me to watch those videos, just because of the way that I look. It's kind of hard to put myself back in that situation to put those videos together. So I'm working on it, but it is kind of a struggle. Last week or 2 days ago, yesterday, what am I talking about? Yesterday, I had to get a colonoscopy because apparently colon cancer and breast cancer are associated with each other. So my general practitioner wanted me to get a colonoscopy. I documented it on my Cancer Fighting Mama Instagram page. Ooh, I'm losing my mind. As I was going through everything, as everybody says, the prep is the hardest part, which it was. You got to clean your system out. So that should tell you enough right there. But everything was all clear, no polyps, no cancer, nothing. So I don't have to go back for another 5 years, which is wonderful. So I guess I could talk to y'all about kind of where I want things to go for 2023. It's taken me a while to kind of figure it out. Some of the things I decided after my breast cancer treatment was completed that I kind of wanted to do. So one of the things is that I want to travel more. And so I kind of came up with this concept to do $1,000 trip. And what that would entail is every other month I would take a trip that doesn't exceed $1,000. So in my mind, I figured that I would get on Spirit or Southwest or Frontier or something, some cheap airline, and see what kind of cheap flights they had. take a flight somewhere, maybe stay overnight, maybe stay just for the day and turn around and come right back, to explore different places in the United States. There's a lot of places that I've heard of that I've never been to, some in driving distance, so I could drive to some of these trips, and some I would have to fly to. So one of the things that I don't know, like I have it in my mind, I just want to fly to Vegas, see Usher, and come right back. Like no hotel, nothing. Just the next morning, come back to Houston. So those are the type of things that I want to do. I want to fly to Chicago and have dinner and walk around for a little bit and then come right back or stay somewhere over the weekend. Um, even if I never leave my hotel, just to get away. And that kind of ties into my word of the year, which I have never done, but I keep seeing people post about their word of the year, um, posting it and talking about it on social media. A couple podcasts talked about having a word of the year. And my word is self because I rarely ever put myself first um, in any situation. So this year, it's just all about putting myself first because I really do need to do that. Life is so short, and when you're always worrying about other people and doing things for other people, you look up and another year has gone by that you haven't done things that you wanted to do for yourself. So my word of the year is self. Absolutely. I want to be selfish. I want to engage in more self-care. I want to be all the self things. Um, because I need that. So self is my word for 2023. Maybe it will evolve as time goes on, but I haven't done a what do you call it? Vision board. I did not do a vision board this year. I did not do a vision board last year. Um, I think that I am going to do a vision board this year, electronically, possibly, um, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's something that I just write down, whether I visually put it together. Um, but I'm going to keep it very precise and very clear of what I want, not just something generic. Because let me tell y'all something. The last time that I made a vision board, damn near everything on that vision board I achieved. And it's crazy. I know it sounds like it's tedious and it's pointless, but literally, like everything I put on that vision board 3 years ago, I have achieved in that time. So I definitely would like to do something like that again. I don't know if like seeing it or remembering it kind of made me push forward more and take more chances and do more things to achieve those things. But let me tell y'all, let me tell you, it works. So write your goals down for this year, make a vision board with pictures and words and make it look amazing. Um, I've heard people use Canva for their vision board, which I might do, and then send it to CVS or somewhere and blow it up. And then that way I'm not worried about magazines. So that may be an option that I do this year. Another one of my goals is that I really want to be more active on my social media. And every time I say that, I get into like this really good groove and I'm posting and I'm doing all the things and then I just get tired and I stop. So I want to really be more active on my Cancer Fighting Mama Instagram page. Um, because I feel like the content that I want to post needs to be seen. Um, Lots of things about health, lots of information about cancer. Um, and yeah, like I know I needed that when I was diagnosed. And so I want to be that source for someone else. Um, yes, there are plenty of pages that have things, but the same way that I did not find them before, yeah, someone might find my page and not their page. So, you know, I really want to be more active on that page. Maybe I'll try TikTok again. I was doing pretty good with doing videos on Instagram, posting them on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook. I was doing really good. And then, you just get into these slumps and kind of halt all the progress. So I'm going to try to write out a schedule, recording schedule, editing schedule. Sometimes, if you guys notice, like I'll just do a quick video for fun. And those are usually my videos that get the most views. So hopefully you'll see those videos too. Um, so the last thing I want to talk about, because you know, I don't like to beat around the bush about things. I try to be as transparent as possible. Um, After my surgery, and really to be honest, throughout my chemo treatment, I could feel that I was becoming depressed. And when I lost my therapist, and did not find another therapist, I think it started to really progress. Because I was trying to figure it out on my own. Obviously, that did not work. And so I did find me another therapist who was amazing. Um, and, based off of my conversations with her and just some other things, she did tell me that I am going through a depressive state right now. Um, I have had a hard time editing my podcast episodes from that time because I could see it in my face. I remember how I felt in those interviews. And so it's been hard for me to edit those episodes. Same way it was hard for me to edit my breast cancer journey episodes. So I am really trying to figure out what I want to do with the podcast. And anytime we go through life-changing things, um, it really makes you reevaluate how you spend your time. And there are some things that I want to do personally, career-wise, um, that are going to take some time. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm like feeling like I'm in limbo. But I know that it's something else that I'm supposed to be doing. I just don't know what it is. And with that being said, I don't know the future of the podcast. Um, my dilemma is that whenever I give someone an idea of what I want to do, they tell me to do it. Go for it. You can do it. That'll be great. You should do it. You should do it. You should do it. Most of those things that I have thought about doing are very time consuming. And I can't do all the things, y'all. I can't. I can't do the podcast. I can't be a partner. I can't be a mom. I can't work on these projects or go back to school all at the same time. I just can't. I would be worn out, ran ragged. Um, but then on the other hand, when I say maybe I should not do the podcast anymore, then people are like, no, we love the podcast. You should really keep doing the podcast. You're doing great things. I learned so much from your podcast. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I have about 4 or 5 episodes that I've recorded that I am going to edit and post over the next 4 to 5 weeks. Um, and after that, I will figure out what I want to do. I mean, I love this podcast. I love interviewing people and meeting people and making connections and helping people off camera, helping my guests off camera, giving them information. I love doing all of that stuff, but I just don't know if I can sustain the podcast. Maybe I'll do it less than every week, maybe every other week or something. I don't know. Um, but I have to figure it out. So, you know, there are people who listen to my podcast that I do not know. There are people who listen to my podcast that I do know. There are people who are only YouTube watchers. There are people who are only, streaming service listeners. And I appreciate all of you. Um, and I've definitely taken into account um, everything that I could possibly imagine would be a plus, like a pro, and then a con to keeping the podcast. So I have some time to kind of figure out what I want to do. But obviously I will keep y'all posted. You know, it's a hard decision, when you create something and you love it and you enjoy it and other people enjoy it, you kind of have to figure out how you can do it without running yourself ragged. And that's the crossroad where I am right now, trying to figure out how I can still do the color of influence, um, and everything else that I want to do. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely have some ideas um, of how I can make this happen and still, make time for my family. Um, so I'm just letting y'all know. Right now, the podcast is still up and running. It is still going strong, and I have not made any decisions. So until then, I will definitely let y'all know if I change my mind. In July or June, I think it's June, one of those months, it will mark 2 years that I had the podcast. And crazy enough, I did not even recognize the first year because I was going through chemo and I totally forgot about it. I was just doing chemo, working, being mom, being partner, doing the podcast, and totally forgot that I had a year anniversary this summer that I forgot about. So definitely will, if I make it to June or July, whatever the month was that I started the podcast, we will do a 2 year celebration in some way, shape, or form. So, yes, again, I want to thank y'all so much for rocking with me for the past year and a half through all of my changes and these amazing guests that I have had, all the support that y'all have given me going through my breast cancer treatments and after. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate my guests. Um, I will be honest, a lot of them did not know that I was going through cancer treatment when I interviewed them. I'm sure they, kind of had questions or thoughts in their mind, but None of them brought it up, um, unless they knew me off camera, which some of them did and did, we talked about it. But other than that, I mean, very respectable, very engaging. Even when I was really not feeling doing the podcast in that moment and I did it anyway, um, that's another reason why I'm kind of toying with the idea of maybe taking a break. Um, because I look at those interviews and I know what's behind those eyes. Like, I know the tiredness and the fatigue, and sometimes I couldn't even think straight when I was doing my interviews. So now I'm on the other side of it, and yeah, we'll see what happens, y'all, because I would like to live life and not be tied down to something that is going to become a hindrance to me living that life. So, sure, y'all understand where I'm coming from. Um, if you are watching on YouTube, look at this. Y'all, my hair. It is baby hair to the finest. Um, it is growing, and even I have the baby hairs on the side too that have grown in. But my hair is like super soft. It's very straight. Um, yeah, it is growing and growing and growing. And my eyebrows, on the other hand, they're giving me no love. I have no eyebrows. I draw them in if you guys ever see me with pictures and videos with eyebrows and eyelashes, fake lashes drawn on eyebrows. So, um, life after cancer. No, I'm not gonna say life after cancer. Life after chemo and surgery, um, is continuing. I'm continuing to live, and with that, um, there are some things that I want to do for the cancer community, um, that I am in. I just don't know what it is. And all of these factors and things that are in my head are all reasons why I may be taking a break from the podcast. So, you know, life is lifing and I'm living it unapologetically. But again, thank y'all for following along with my journey, my guests. Happy New Year. I didn't even say Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Um, you know, 2023 is going to be a great year for all of us. And hopefully, I will continue to bring y'all amazing guests. But if life takes me in another direction, just understand that um, that was the best decision for me because my word of the year is self. So I'm focusing on myself. Until next time, y'all will hear an interview with a guest next week. Um, and the following week, and the following week, and the following week. But I'll be back next month to give y'all an update. Y'all know February is my birthday month, and 2 weeks from now is the day that I found out that I could possibly have breast cancer. It was life-changing time around this time of year for me. So, yeah, that's weird. But anyway, Happy New Year. Thank y'all for listening. Tune in next week when we will have an amazing guest. And don't forget to like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, leave us comments, please. Rate the podcast on streaming platforms. Leave us comments on streaming platforms. Engage with us on social media. Well, I say us. Engage with me on social media. The Color of Influence on Instagram, and Cancer Fighting Mama is my other page. So engage, comment, like, share my post. Head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Like all of our videos, share our videos, and comment on the videos. Engagement is very important. There are some of you who I know personally who talk to me about episodes or guests, and I have no idea that y'all were even listening to the podcast. So let me know you're listening. Like, comment, share, follow, all of the important things to let us know that you are here. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace. And that's a wrap on another amazing episode. I know that you were just as inspired as I was after listening to that conversation. And to let us know how we're doing, don't forget to leave us a review, like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can also follow us on all social media platforms, from YouTube to Facebook, at The Color of Influence, and on Instagram, the_color_of_influence. You can check out all of our episodes and additional content on our website, thecolorofinfluence.com, and that's an N only for influence. And don't forget to share the podcast with someone you know, and have them share the podcast with someone they know. Thank you all for listening. Until next time, peace out.